Hey YouTube. I decided to do some of the character side quests, so let's open up the journal and see what's opened up for us. I really want to do unbreakable metal first. Taking on that adamantine golem might have some really nice rewards. I'm going to assume the Lost Dwarven Fort. Nope. Ah, there it is. I did think it would be on the left-hand side. Alrighty. Right in that little river crook. And there he is. Wasn't hard to find. The giant man made out of indestructible metal.
Hope it not fight back. Best kind of fight.
I think you're gonna be disappointed there, Nok Nok. I think it's gonna fight back real good. Okay, so they said that we just had to, like, tire it out, basically. So I wonder if we can just kite it with haste. Aren't you guys casting?
My path at an end.
Well, we did actually take damage. Okay. Huh, do you really just take a couple hits? The golem freezes. Inside it, something vibrates in harmony, and then dents left by your weapons. Oh, and then dents left by your weapons quickly repair. Harrim approaches the metal monster and examines it from head to toe. An invincible idol made of indestructible metal. Another proof of our empty pride. Every master who wishes to create something that will outlive them. But why? So that their creation will live on for a short while before returning to dust with the rest of the universe? Ha! Masters, masters. Harrim pulls the key. To his surprise, the whole lock comes out of the golem's body along with the key. As Harrim stands amazed, the monster falls to pieces, as if it were made not of the strongest metal in the world, but of rotten wood. Why are you saying hail to me? Harrim gave the killing blow. Ooh, that's a lot of experience. One of the dwarves, clearly their leader, a gray-haired man with a massive symbol of Torag around his neck, jumps down from the hillock where the dwarves climb to escape the golem. He looks at Harrim and what he's done, astounded. How? How did you do it? That's impossible. Impossible. I don't know. I don't. Harrim, you've broken metal with your bare hands before. What? When did that happen, Titus? Oh, wait, are you talking about the anvil? Yeah, I did do that, but why? I asked Herodotus what it meant, but received no answer. Harrim pensively wraps his beard around his finger. Who are you? The dwarf turns to you and bows ceremoniously. Forgive me, Your Grace. The surprise made me lose all my manners. My name is Jarlmold Skeb, Paladin of Torag and leader of this group. On behalf of our whole clan, I thank you for your help. May the Father of Creation never leave you. Oh, may he bless you, my son. And you must be Harrim, the priest of Grotus. I heard a lot about you and the unusual path you've taken. I would like to speak with you. I wouldn't like to even see you. We have nothing to discuss. This is just what I need, to listen to another sermon about Torag's greatness. The paladin replies to Harrim's indignation with a humble bow. I am not so arrogant as to preach to a priest. Your faith is your choice. I am not one to question it. I only wanted to know more about your spiritual journey. In response, Harrim only sniffs with contempt. Anyway, are you safe now? Yes, Your Grace. May Torag bless the soul you walk upon. You saved us. The Skeg clan is in your debt. Alas, we have no treasure to reward you for your kind aid, but that is only temporary. Believe me, when we find a way inside the fortress and recover the legacy of our ancestors, you'll see that no one can accuse the Skeg clan of stinginess. Ah, typical gratitude for dwarven clans. Just so you know, Titus, when they say they're in irredeemable debt, it really just means they're just never going to pay. Look at them, Titus. Here they are, true children of Torag, greedy, conceited, unable to see beyond their own nose. They barely escaped death, and there they are, diving into its maw again, blinded by the glitter of imaginary treasures. I contemplated making them leave, but let us allow them to stay and continue what they're doing. If they're in such a hurry to dig their own graves, let us not interfere. Thank you. I see you've no love for your people or our god. No, don't be so quick to frown. I've no wish to preach to you, but I believe you said you broke the unbreakable with your bare hands? Please tell me about this. I think I have an idea of what power lies within you. Harrim, the searing palm. Harrim's voice sounds dull and lifeless. The magic anvil in the desolate bronze shield fortress, desecrated by trolls. It was destroyed by my fist as if it were made of sand or wood that had rotten from within, and only waited to be touched to fall to dust. Jarlmold pensively holds his hand upon Torag's hammer, which hangs about his neck. Could it be? Jarlmold, what are you talking about? What power hides inside Harrim? The touch of the Unmaker. This is a rare, very rare gift of the gods. It happens once in a generation. I can't say who grants it. Perhaps Torag, perhaps Grotus, or perhaps it comes from some other source we know nothing about. It is the power to give death to things which live on beyond their proper time. Pfft, that's rich. Any pipsqueak from our tribe knows how to break things, and you longshanks call it a gift. Ill things, created with a flaw, like this golem, desecrated, like the anvil, the robust creation of dwarven hands that beg for death but must continue to exist. A dwarf blessed by the touch of the Unmaker can put an end to their suffering. Nonsense. I've never heard of this. If Grotus granted me this power, why do I have to find out about it from some paladin of a traitor god? The god of helplessness and cowardice. Kitty, you need to see my screen. Hold on. A gift of the gods by Grotus? You prove it, or you admit you're lying. Jarlmold listens calmly to the stream of insults raining down on him from Harrim. When the latter has finally spent his breath, the paladin replies quietly, "Yes, I can prove it." How can you prove your words? The touch of the Unmaker is not only the power to destroy. He can take the heart from an item, all the love and effort put into it by its maker. By the mercy of Torag, strike the golem once more, complete the unmaking, and show us its heart. Ooh. Harrim looks gloomily at the quiet golem, then shrugs and smashes it with his fist. The golem falls to fragments with a pitiful clink. Leaning down to search through the pieces, Harrim takes hold of a shimmering blue jewel. He examines it, then turns to you. The priest's face is sad and baffled. There, a gift from Torag. Be he damned. So what's next? What do I do with it now? I kinda want this golem heart. This is a hard choice. I'm gonna go with the second one just because I'm feeling a little greedy right now. Oh, damn. Shit. Oh, that fight was awful easy. I'll go ahead and hit the autosave. I guess, in retrospect, the fight should be really easy with Harrim on our side. I mean, canonically, he can basically just touch it and kill it.
We'll do it the hard
Nok
way.
Nok used to lighting enemies on fire first. Alright, didn't get this check before. Maybe I passed a check I didn't pass before. It's possible, but then Torag and his followers are even more stupid and blind than I thought. Just imagine, Titus, if this is true, the reason for my woe is not a curse, but the simple fact that none of my kin was wise enough to recognize a divine gift. The priest shakes his head and looks at the paladin. You said you can prove your words. I challenge you now. Alright, so this time we'll keep the heart. Thank you for telling me of my gift, Troubled, but do not expect it will reconcile me with Torag, or with my people. If you find a way to make good use of it, fine. If not, doesn't matter. You can keep looking for the entrance, or go back to your mountains. I care not. Thank you, Harrim. I'll make good use of this gift. I'm sorry that everything turned out the way I did, but I respect your decision and won't try to convince you. Farewell. Gifts from the gods, curses from the gods. I'm starting to think it's the same thing. But thank you for coming here with me. I probably wouldn't have even talked to the Strommold on my own. But now I have much to contemplate. Let us go, Titus. Let's leave these skeg to do as they will.
Forwards.
I was hoping to get to keep that item. It looked like it would be cool. Okay. Oh, you haven't discussed things with Jubilost? Not bad. Alright, Nok Nok. The trouble with golems. Goblins. Oleg's trading post. I've been on this path before, so it's like I have a slightly wider radius of exploring now. Maybe because my perception check is higher? I'm not sure. Alright, let's see what the goblins are up to. Oh shit, that's a lot of goblins. You stumble across an ugly scene. A ragged pile of goblins. They're hiccuping violently, laughing, then hiccuping again. They are so thick with alcohol fumes, flies lie dead in the dirt, and an odd vinegar smell as well. It appears the goblins have gotten into Oleg's stock and drank deep of its contents. Barrels lie in splinters around the area, not a single one intact. Nok Nok surveys the goblin pile, then glances at you with a shrug. No problem here. Normal day for tribe. Would be worse if holiday. Is this your tribe? He sniffs. Yes. And you suddenly become more aware of the vinegar smell. They've marked this as home. It will be hard to make them leave this home, though. He glances around in disapproval. It's much smaller than the capital. Capital would have more room for them, not have to lie in pile. Could be lying down drunk everywhere. So they got drunk and peed everywhere. Awesome. He turns to one of the group entwined in the mass. You, Runny Longlegs, why did you stop running? Why make home here? The goblin lifts his head slightly, his tiny eyes blearily red. His legs are indeed long and folded back almost like a grasshopper. Kept getting chased. No place to settle down. Got hungry. Then caught. Then we sent here. And now? Caught. By who? Big Shanks. Bigger than you. Long leg blinks and scratches the side of his head with his foot. Fatter. Smelled better. Big Club was eating sheep. We tried to share a sheep with us by taking one, a small one, in the night while he snore, but we not asked first, so he got mad. Looks like a giant. Don't know which one. After eating half of us, he got so full, he ready to trade. He say if we find him something to wash other goblins down with because they still squirming in his gut, he let us go. We knew a place, here, at Post, but had to sample kegs to be sure. Some appreciation that is. Look, you can't just serve any old swill to the monster that swallowed your friends. You have to be sure it'll complement such coarse meat. Perhaps I should write a guide on pairing drinks for goblin cuisine? Make them leave, or I'll do it myself. Listen, Nok Nok Big Hero, you do what Nok Nok say, but... He frowns, his ear twitching. Tell me where Big Shanks now. When he expect you back? Did Big Shanks follow you? And there we go. At that moment, there's another waft of foul air, and a shadow falls on the ground. All the goblins in the pile lift their heads at the new arrival, a towering hill giant with mismatched coveralls a necklace of hands and skulls, and a makeshift club composed of several timbers tied together with rope. He looks very, very angry, not just at the pile of goblins, but the splintered empty barrels. That him. You're trespassing by the law of the land, giant. Leave now. I don't think that'll do anything. The hill giant turns to you as if in challenge, points to himself, and gives a rumbling growl akin to grok, then turns to the goblins. His hand clenches on his club, and the growl grows louder. He points at the goblins, then points at his belly, the intent clear. The goblins do not respond, not even Longlegs. Their eyes remain wide, frozen. Suddenly Longlegs makes a high-pitched squeak and points at Nok Nok. He our leader! He a hero! He make us drink everything we promised! Also, he made us eat your sheep! Eat him! An ugly friend! The hill giant snarls, lifts his club, then turns to you and Nok Nok and thrusts out his chin, pounding his chest and giving a thundering series of grunts that sound like a challenge. He Mungok, he says, not in the mood to share. He says the half-shank are their guts to eat. You can understand him? I can. Got caught by hill giants once. Kept as a toy for their kid, until ran away. I'm surprised he survived that. He can eat them for all I care, but I'm gonna try and be the nice guy. I'll do something about it. Nok Nok swallows, then takes a deep breath and strides up to the hill giant, barely cresting his knee. He then gives a few short, drawn-out squeaks. The hill giant doesn't respond, seemingly confused. Nok Nok repeats himself, and again is met with silence. Frustrated, and without thinking, he kicks Mungok as hard as he can, and howls in pain. Alright, diplomacy has failed. Mungok seems oblivious to the kick, but glances down. And Nok Nok, who is now holding his foot and leaping about, and suddenly, a smile slowly cracks Mungok's stained face. It's like watching clay crack. Then he starts chortling, as Nok Nok's eyes water. Nok Nok finally stops hopping about and takes a step back, glaring furiously at Mungok. Seeing the goblin become still, the once smiling hill giant begins to grumble angrily, his eyebrows drawing together. Yeah, let's just get him to keep kicking him. Maybe he'll just laugh and go away. Yup. Kick. Dance. At this, the giant gives a delighted booming laugh, spittle flying from his splintered teeth. One gob flies, almost slowly, twisting in flight, to land directly on Nok Nok's head with a heavy spat, forming phlegmy cap that drips down his face. The other goblins, once paralyzed by drink and fear, suddenly begin to laugh as well, pointing at Nok Nok until the entire building is filled with laughter. Nok Nok's ears droop at the ridicule, but then he finally manages a half-hearted chuckle, until he's laughing as well, and the hill giant doesn't seem as angry anymore. It seems he's forgotten his hunger in light of this amusement. See if he'll leave now. Nok Nok looks doubtful, but shrugs, squaring his chest. He tries to give a booming, rumbling command, then stomps his feet and nods outside. The hill giant glances in that direction, then turns back to Nok Nok, confused, then points at his belly, then points at Nok Nok. Nok Nok shakes his head frantically, then risks a quick glance at you. Mungok not want to go. Food is here. Now you think me not a hero, but food too. Alright, let's see if we can keep the amusement up. There must be something you can say to convince him. Nok Nok thinks hard for a moment, one ear twitching, then brightens. He gives a series of rumbling grunts, very quick in succession, then spreads his hand out wide, and then spreads them high, standing on his tiptoes. After that, he settles back on his heels and pants himself on the belly with a sound, which doesn't need translation. Hopefully this won't be awful. Nok Nok absorbs this dully, then glances at the goblin. He gives a short, dismissive grunt, then glances back at Nok Nok and shrugs. Then, to your surprise, he lumbers out, club over his shoulder. What'd you say to him? Just make sense to him with words, like real hero. Nok Nok pumps up triumphantly. Send Mungok to capital. Lots of food there, and drink. We have all he need to fill belly. That's awful. Why did you do that? I not counsel well, but hero good at chasing off giants means Nok Nok good hero, right? Ignoring him, a pile of goblins are all watching you as they sober up. The goblins seem ready to bolt. You catch Longlegs slowly uncurling himself from the pile, apparently ready to run. You do notice a number of goblins are looking at Nok Nok with strange fascination. Dealing with the giant must have impressed them. None of you move. We're not done here. We not go anywhere. We not have anywhere to go. Maybe I'll stay here, yeah? Nok Nok, deal with your truck. Nok Nok steps forward and gives a series of cracking hisses to get attention, and all the goblins stare at him. After their eyes are on him, Nok Nok, his eyes narrowed, goes to each one of them in turn, and raps them twice on the head, hard. They wince, but say nothing, except for one feeble groan from a goblin more sober than the rest. Make great deal with you. You need to go to bigger place or I hit you again. I show you. The goblins stare blankly at this. Nok Nok sighs. Me big hero, follow me. Take you to new place. The goblins nod and begin to untangle themselves, but they're doing what Nok Nok says, some of them rubbing their heads. Nok Nok turns to you. Big hero Nok Nok, take care of them. All good. You better not be taking them to the capital like Mungok, or so help me. Nok Nok pauses, then nods. Capital not bad idea. All, you go to capital. Nok Nok command you, go! God damn it. Oh my, just... Jubilee stands with his mouth open for a few moments, obviously at a loss for words, then sighs with a defeated look on his face. Oh my. The end of your barony just drew closer, much closer. To your horror, the goblins scamper away, running in all directions, but towards the direction of your capital city. Let's see what the quest recap says here. Well, what was that I just saw? Drunk goblins at Oleg's, and then the giant, also drunk, but he didn't get to drink. And Nok Nok in the middle of it all. To his credit, I must say that everything ended up somewhat good if you overlook a goblin tribe skulking around our capital. Well, at least Oleg is still alive. Alright. Probably not an ideal outcome. Probably would have been better resolved by just pulling out a sword and handling that myself. But Nok Nok feels more like a hero now. Of course, thanks to his delusions, he already felt like a hero, so I'm not sure what the net gain is exactly. There's things to check in my kingdom, but going back there anyway to talk to Jubilost. You've lost. Titus, I never properly thanked you for your help at the inconsequent debates. I'm happy to do so now. I hope you don't think me entirely ungrateful. I was surprised that you didn't want to be free of Zodenroppel's spell. Why did you willingly suffer it? Julos locks his hand behind his back. Well, you see, I understand well that the bleaching is, what a fatal effect it has on gnomes. Those four fellows were acting like that for no darker motive than desperation. Their foolish jokes allow them to live just a little longer. Do you see? I don't mind becoming the joke myself. For a while, of course. And not if my life was being threatened. Yet let someone live a couple days longer. That is good. Stop, or you'll make me blush. Jubilas folds his hand over his chest with a contented look. Have you figured out anything about that riddle? Not quite, but I'm still working on it. I'll certainly inform you of my findings. I must admit, such an answer is quite in the spirit of the Fae. It must lead somewhere, and I will find the trail. Alright. I'm gonna blow through his dialogue. Okay. It's gonna be hard to work my way back over into lawful good. There've been too many neutral good and chaotic good dialogue choices. Alright, let's see what's new in the cards. Great. Yeah, this problem makes sense. Why without killing the melancholy giant? Killing him is definitely the easy way to handle this. Okay. That's my BP at 176. I can do something with that. Actually, there's not much I can do right now. All my advisors are tied up. No, but that suits me fine. We got plenty of stuff to handle in the main quest.
Forwards. Without a doubt.
In fact, since we cleared up that attack from Bald Hilltop, I think our schedule is pretty well clear. I'll have plenty of time to hit like like every point of interest over in the previous Baron's territory. I have a strong suspicion I'll end up claiming this part of this area of territory for my barony. For having to walk through your barony, like, every year or every time you're setting out on adventure again, you'd think they do little things to change it up. Like, they've had that scaffolding around that statue for quite a while. At some point, you just gotta finish the thing, man.
A rest would be welcome.
We'll do it the hard way.
Nok Nok's quest is the gift that keeps on giving.
We shall overcome!
They're probably not even worth looting. Yep. Not a thing between them.
Forwards.
Was the exclamation mark there just to tell me that now people aren't here? It's like, okay, the area changed. It became less interesting. Alright. Forsaken Mound. Story time. The tomb, built within the hollowed rocks by the ancient Cyclopses, was safely hidden from casual searches. The path to it was skillfully concealed by lush vegetation. If we hadn't known exactly where to look, we would have just passed it by, never even suspecting it was there. The entrance was covered with a huge stone slab that seemed to merge with a stone wall, but disheveled bushes and torn ivy shoots implied that it had been recently moved. We said the word. Ked means darkness. It's an ancient forgotten word from an ancient forgotten language, like a time-bleached bone from some unknown beast out in the wilderness. After speaking the word, the stone slab smoothly and almost soundlessly moved aside, opening the entrance to the damp, musty darkness. To avoid being trapped inside, we propped the door open with a large stone, which proved a smart decision. As soon as we stepped inside, the door shuddered and tried to close behind us, but the stone kept it in place. Behind the door was a spacious corridor, obviously built for creatures much larger than humans. The air smelled damp, and the stone walls decorated with bas-reliefs and carvings were completely covered with disgusting oily mold. We examined the mold on the walls. Sometimes the fungus in a dungeon proves more dangerous than any monster. So many adventurers suffocated on poisonous spores, got burned, or were disintegrated on the spot, just because they never thought to open a botany textbook. Fortunately, the mold in this tomb, though sticky, smelling, disgusting, was completely harmless. Armed with this knowledge, we searched the corridor for traps. Tombs and traps always come as a pair, like pen and ink, or barbarian in rage, or officials and bribes. This tomb was no exception. Sure, there weren't any pressure plates on the floors or bundles of stone waiting to fall on our head, but under the layer of mold was a hidden magic sign, the kind you shouldn't look at. Having finished our search, I guess check the corridor for magic, even though we just saw some. Okay, so we should not clean the mold off the wall, or we will see the sign, which would be bad. So we move down the corridor. A huge sarcophagus was placed in the middle of the burial chamber, its lid lying on the floor nearby. Inside was a gigantic skeleton. Its skull stared hollowly with its single huge eye socket, and its bony fingers were clenched around a small brass incense burner that also looked like a one-eyed skull. Near the sarcophagus was a slim figure of a woman wrapped in a gray cloak. She wasn't breathing, and it didn't take much looking to discover her cause of death. The Cyclops had left a nasty surprise for anyone who dared to come rob their graves. Near the skeleton's head was a magical symbol of death, carved directly into the sarcophagus surface. It must have killed her. Must have killed the sister the instant she opened the lid. Luckily for us, it was single-use trap. Yeah, let's try and examine the area. Judging from the wall carvings, the builders of this gloomy place must have venerated Charon, the godlike archdemon of death. Similar incense burners were used in his servants' rituals. The smoke coming from the eye socket was meant to symbolize a soul flying to him. Were the sisters conducting some ritual? Maybe even trying to summon Charon himself? Terrible. After exploring the tomb, we examined the body of the sister. When we removed the cloth from the dead woman's face, it sent a chill down our spine. She literally had no face. Instead, there was a rough gray surface looking something like a roughly made clay mask. The two holes instead of eyes, a hole instead of a nose, a crack instead of a mouth. What power could have done that to her? Having examined the body, we discovered the dead woman wasn't human. She was fey, most likely a nymph, deformed by some unknown magic. She had nothing of interest on her, so we took the incense burner and left the tomb, which had also become the burial chamber for the very person we'd been searching for. Sounds like we're not giving her a proper burial. But as a fae, was she even part of the barbarian tribe? Was she tricking them? Do they know much about her? These questions and more possibly answered next time. Orvain, nice. I wonder why it didn't let me in that collapsed passage.
Hope it not like that. Best kind of fight.
Consider me provoked.
Nok Nok used to lighting enemies on fire first.
Said he got an attack of opportunity, but not sure how one gets a ranged attack of opportunity. Okay, where was the last location we needed to get to? Oh, yeah, I found all 3 missing sisters. We didn't find the relic in the city of Hollow Eyes. For God's sake, who comes up with these creepy names? Oh, I love Lindsay's little additions to everything. Wait. Spriggans are Fae. I wonder if they have any connection to the sisters here. I wonder how I delivered this news to his brother. I didn't see him in town. Okay, let's save. And then find out what's going on with these sisters.
Look there, Tiger Lords! Here comes the killer, an enemy, a servant of evil spirits. This person aims to disrupt our exalted mission.
God damn it. As you approach the camp, you hear the voice of an agitated crowd. Numerians are gathered around the defaced sisters near the camp entrance, and a loud discussion is taking place. When the defaced sister sees you, she lifts her hands and points a finger at you. Her voice, usually calm and quiet, is now menacing and accusing.
One of our sisters is slain and the other is missing, probably never to be seen again. And the killer stands right before you.
Damn it.
We trusted him, and this is how he repays us. Liar, traitor, murderer!
The barbarians exchange glances with each other, look at the sister, then look at you, and finally look at Dugath, who tightens his fist around his sword. They await an order from their leader, ready to charge at his sign. Of course, Dugath was totally okay with us killing the sisters, so I'm not sure how he's going to react.
You heard the sister. Tiger Lords, to battle!
Today you die, Baron.
Alright. We are 100% surrounded, which is tactically awful.
You stole my enemies on fire.
Alright, Olivia went down. That's a shame. Both my spellcasters are down. This bodes poorly. Brutal fight. Why do we keep taking all this stat damage?
A clever ploy.
Repent! I shall not falter.
Be easy.
We shall overcome! Attack!
Your life ebbs low.
Somehow we're actually getting through this. Oh wait, still have his sister up? Thought we took her out. Take it back, let's just charge in.
My path at an end.
Come here,
I
Bat.
see the
Not
success
that.
of my
Each
family.
knife to use.
What a pile of corpses.
Grotus awaits us.
Let's get some healing in before we try to talk. Just in case the talking doesn't go well.
Come closer. I need to tell you something. I know where to find what the sisters were looking for. It's in the Valley of the Dead. An unholy, cursed place, that is. I didn't want to lead my people there. Now, it really doesn't matter anymore. I'll tell you how to get there. That thing the sisters were searching the tombs for, it opens the entrance. Go there and die there.
I think his death was timed just slightly off. Ooh, great sword. Cool belt, cool cloak. Great sword, endless war. Yes! Oh. Oh, this is the good thing I've been wanting the whole game. Seven to 17, 4 to 19. What is vicious? Ah, it's got a drawback. 1d6 points of damage every time I swing it. I'm still putting it on. Oh jeez, look at it. So many spikes. This thing's sweet as hell. Actually, my armor only allows me 1 dex. I don't need a belt of physical perfection until I can find some mithril armor or something. Harrim does get a lot out of it, but Akundio, I think, gets the most out of it. He can use the strength bonus with his composite bow. So right now his damage is 13 to 20, down 16 to 23. Okay. Then someone else can have this nice belt. Alright. Then that's probably all the belt swapping that goes on. Basic cloak of resistance, breastplate +2. Counts as medium armor. That's more barbarian stuff. I am so happy about that great sword. Okay, now where's this Valley of Death? Okay, it's actually kind of where I thought it would be. I set someone to deal with that. I'm going to assume that the people I set to deal with that will be able to handle it. Okay, I don't mind taking a minor detour on my way down. And hopefully I get to test out this sword.
Forwards.
Let's finish them quick.
Consider me provoked.
We shall overcome.
Okay,
Without
not
a
so bad.
doubt.
The clockwork pendant. Plus 10 bonus to movement speed. Ah. Basically extends haste. Yeah, I'll let you blast have this. The necklace I unequipped is cool, but it doesn't seem like
I will
it's
guide
better
us.
than anything else anyone's wearing. Backline took a shit ton of stat damage there. I didn't even look to see that stat damage had not been recovered. That's it. He still has charisma and constitution drain.
Yes, I'm still here.
Alright, let's just cast Restoration a bunch. Next time we
Forwards.
sleep.
I've got a message for you. It's time to pull off the masks and answer for your deeds. My master has seen enough, so he summons you. Come, kneel before this land's true ruler. Embrace suffering, embrace pain. Surrender your spirit to Mordecai, the chosen of the 4 horsemen, and the keeper of the Oculus of Abaddon.
I mean, okay. Vanguard was the ruler of these lands. Your master stole something that didn't belong to him? It feels awfully prideful, but whatever. I need to move myself more lawful.
Magar Varn and his minions were impostors without rights and honor. Soon, the Empire of Mordecai will rise from its 1,000-year sleep and reclaim its lands.
One such as you will serve this future in life or in death.
So your master's responsible for what happened?
Yes, and it was well-deserved punishment. One who dwelled in that town stole what was not his to possess. He trespassed in the master's sanctuary, defiled it, and brought what he stole to the place you call Varnhold. By doing so, he incurred the wrath of my master.
But what happened?
My master's knowledge and power are great. The Oculus of Abaddon has granted him even greater power. It was the Oculus that brought about his revenge over the impious ones.
That didn't answer much, but okay. What do you mean by seen enough?
I'm the eyes and the ears of my master. Everything I see or hear, he sees and hears as well. All we speak of, all your deeds, nothing escapes my master.
Not afraid of your master. Tell me where I can find him.
Go to the Valley of the Dead. Pass the gates and face the challenges that await. If you survive, my master will meet you in his sanctuary.
What waits there?
The gates bar the entrance to the Valley of the Dead. Only the one who has the key or sacred knowledge can pass. Once my master barred the valley from the outer world and the lesser races such as yours. Thus my master could focus upon his research and rule the Empire without the pathetic rebellions and petty wars of your kind. You have a choice. Find 3 incense burners hidden in the tombs of traitors who imprisoned my master in his sanctuary, or conjure darkness, which is able to open the way to the Valley of the Dead. This way or another, you will be able to pass the gates, and my master will seal your fate.
All right.
I have no doubts about that. I'll meet you in the sanctuary.
Bit of a camp up here.
Without a doubt.
Wouldn't have wanted to miss those eggs.
I will guide us.
Wait. We need to talk.
Tristan, what are you doing
Forgive me, Baron. I hope that when I explain, you'll accept my apology. I couldn't let you go alone.
What's the matter?
The Valley of the Dead the Raven spoke of. I know it. An ancient evil is buried there, from empires since turned to dust. Being cautious is not enough. If you go there, you must tread quietly, or you shall awaken dark things indeed.
I mean, that's the idea.
A tomb lies in the heart of the valley. That is where the evil sleeps. I know I cannot sway you from going, but if you must go, please let me help you. My faith may help when spells and steel may not.
Okay. But I really like everyone in my party. And Tristan is not one that I've leveled up. No, I'll deal with that in a bit. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna call the episode here. Hope you guys had fun. I know I did. Be good.